It's okay. We can do it while we're not recording.
Welcome back. We have died. And we are,
We're going to super speed.
Yay! Yay!
Because we've already done this bit, so...
Yep. It's, it can get a little tedious to re-see the same thing.
I'm scared that the Dark Souls community, in the masses, will call me out for cutting off footage.
Oh.
And I would grind off screen, but no.
The worst offense is to remove footage from a video game Let's Play.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like there was tons of cut content from the Batman games.
Yeah. So I got my so I got my souls back, and this guy's following me all the way down here.
Yeah, they use the ladders. That's something you should keep in mind.
I could have never predicted that.
Yeah.
I mean, ladders are pretty complex.
Well, a lot of enemies in video games don't know how to use ladders.
That's entirely true. And
So
a lot of video games don't have ladders.
I think that the first time I fought this boar, I ended up killing him with fire bombs rather than anything else.
Yeah, they don't have resistances that much to.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, up the butt. I have to deal with this guy.
But like I couldn't get him into the fires, and I didn't know jack about alluring skulls. So
well, I've never used them ever actually.
Yeah, so
I never like had the thought.
Yeah, so I was just like, well, I have these fire bombs in my inventory right now. I'll just chuck those at this boar and see what happens. And it was like, oh, okay, that worked.
Yeah. For this guy, I was like, oh, you're never gonna get away. And I was like, oh, I see someone. I'm gonna.
Right.
Ow! Another guy.
Ambush.
Yeah.
They're sneaky like that.
I remember one of them rushes you from the left, but I forgot about the guy on the right.
Oops.
So that made the situation worse.
Yeah. That's how Dark Souls gets you.
Yeah, you have to be aware of your surroundings. And they actually do the thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to get this enemy. But no, in fact, there was another enemy right behind you.
Nah.
They do play that off in a later area, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a lot.
One of the biggest things about... F that table.
Mr. Key.
One of the big things about Dark Souls that it will immediately and repeatedly enforce upon the player is that you need to be aware of your surroundings at all times.
Yeah, like that. I just fell.
Otherwise, that happens.
And he landed on me. Mario jumping style.
Yeah, well, you're not. Fortunately, you're not a Goomba, so it's okay.
Yeah, and that would have killed me instantly.
But it's entirely about situational awareness. Ooh, that was an impressive backstab between
through the knee.
Yeah,
Killed him instantly.
The most dangerous of spots to stab.
That's where the source of power is in his shin.
It's his Achilles knee instead of
God
heel.
And we're doing some balance beam stuff here.
This is a trick that Dark Souls loves.
Okay,
to pull
how
as well.
could this guy have possibly ended up here?
He fell from above.
From?
He fell from above, obviously.
It's underneath the floor. I think. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's underneath the floor. How did he get there?
Magic.
And we have our fog door, but no boss actually. We're just seeing through the textures there.
This So this guy.
Bum 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 bum.
Da-dang!
No, he doesn't do that.
This guy is he's kind of one of the first characters.
Yeah, now the enemies have leveled up.
Yeah, well, he's one of the first enemies that's
Like fuck you and your asses.
He's specifically placed to teach the player about backstabs.
Yeah. Although there's another character that we actually ignored earlier that you could have learned off of from.
Yeah. Well, obviously you kind of get it mentioned to you, but he's like the first character that you can that most unobservant players will notice and recognize that they can kind of sneak up on him.
Yeah. This is the first time when enemies turning the other way.
Yeah.
Maybe I could do something.
Yes, exactly.
And he's drinking from the SS flask a second time.
There we go.
But
knock him out of it.
And the run attack that this rapier has can actually hit them like twice or 3 times. So yeah, fuck that guy. I just threw a fireball.
So that enemy also can parry you, right?
He can quite easily actually. Because enemies they can do it with any shield, of course, but the particular shields.
Oh.
Yeah. But the particular shield he has, it's called a buckler.
Yep.
Then the parry time window is extended when you have that shield.
Interesting.
Although it's something like really used for PvP, but if you're really into PvP, you do care about what other players say about you. And if you parry with a shield specifically meant for parrying, you will be shunned. You have to use a regular shield, or else
you're a tryhard.
Yeah, exactly. Well, either that or you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
You have to strike a balance.
Yeah. I'm very glad that I, first of all, don't care about like multiplayer stuff in general, but second of all, specifically don't care about what people in multiplayer games think of me.
Right.
It would be such a burden on my conscience right there. It's just like, because I know that I'm bad at video games, and I don't need the added like deflation of my ego that comes from like 15 other people shouting at me about how bad I am at video games.
Thank God you weren't playing Dark Souls then.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have done exactly that. Okay, now this gate, if you were fast enough,
you could have gone through it.
Yeah, you could have gone through it without this guy closing it.
Yeah.
But there's a boar, tons of enemies in there, so I don't think it was worth it.
Yeah, we had to take care of that boar though.
Yes, I had to give my revenge on it. And now we have the star of the show, or star of the Let's Play, the halberd.
So
so fuck this ass talk, I'm gonna use that.
That gate is also that leads into kind of another thing that is a main design, like a recurring design element within Dark Souls that is largely absent from Dark Souls 2 in a way, which is the way that the world map kind of loops back on itself.
Yes, and a very big loop is about to be completed.
Why are we stripping, by the way?
Because the halberd is much heavier than the S-Stock, and I had to make sure I had below 25% equip load, and that's when I will evade faster.
Because there are 3 different levels of rolling speed.
Technically, well, there's 4.
3 that most people will see.
Yes. Okay. So now, if this were any other game, you'd be below 100%, and that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Like in Bethesda games.
But this is Dark Souls.
This is Dark Souls, and fuck you. Specifically, fuck you.
And that guy.
So if you're above 100% of your equip load on your character, then
you can't roll at all, really.
Yeah, don't bother. Just stop playing the game.
Yeah.
If you're above 50, you're still fat rolling. It's still you're still an obese level of
very
evading.
slow rolls that will not do much to get you out of the way of harm.
Yeah, and then there's below 50, which is your standard roll and what you tend to see the most, and then there's below 25. That's your, this is when you're actually evading.
It's the dexterous.
Choice. That's the one I'm gonna be. Below 25 is the equip load I'm gonna be using the entire time, and then there's one even faster, which is where if you equip a certain ring,
it
makes you ninja flip.
Right.
And I'm gonna be using that ring, so I will be ninja flipping out and about when I get that.
I've not actually seen that before, so that'll be interesting.
Okay, so fuck that. I've run out of Estus. I'm nearly dead.
Uh-oh.
And I have to throw fireballs to not die, because there's also an archer there. And
Yeah.
I think if he hits me once, I'm gonna die.
Probably.
So I have to deal with these guys behind a pillar.
So the so I really adore the world design in Dark Souls. And I love the way that some certain critics have put it in the past. And it's like Dark Souls is the best 3D Castlevania game.
Well, it's not really high standards, to be honest.
No, but it's a very good comparison because
It is, yeah.
in a manner of speaking, Dark Souls is it's made with a vast majority of the design decisions that kind of made Castlevania such a big franchise in the first place.
Yeah, and a lot of what makes Castlevania, Castlevania, which is the entire map is connected.
Yeah.
And the only loading screens you're gonna get is if you teleport. Otherwise, you can run through the entire game without a loading screen.
And it's kind of sad. Like I still enjoy Dark Souls 2. But it's kind of
it?
I haven't beaten it, but I still like it, but I was even just starting the game, I was immediately saddened by the fact that from the first location of the game, you are very clearly given a direction that you're supposed to be going in, and
yes,
and there isn't a path that you can deviate, because when you get to Firelink Shrine in here, as we saw in
it branches off to 5 different areas.
Yeah, and technically speaking, you can go to any of those areas, no matter what level
even
you are.
if you're not prepared to it, you can still go through it.
Yeah, and because there are a lot of people who are really good at the game who will do no level runs and stuff.
Yes,
and it's those people can literally just go through New Londo Ruins, as soon as they want, basically.
The Four Kings is very possible to have it be the second boss after the tutorial area that you can fight.
Exactly, and
and
it's really sad that kind of world design was not carried over in Dark Souls 2.
It's Miyazaki did. Since he wasn't there, he didn't really have the supervision.
Yeah, and you see in Bloodborne, that sort of interconnected, interweaving world.
Yeah,
returns.
it's even better than Dark Souls actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. Well,
it's very impressive. It's very impressive.
Yeah, so we just talked to an Onion Knight, whatever. He doesn't really do much. He's waiting for a gate to be open.
He will be a recurring character, though.
Oh, he will be. And yeah, but back to the level design stuff. We're about to make, I think, is probably the biggest loop you make in the game, actually. I have to deal with these guys. Since I'm fully charged, I can finally deal with them properly.
Oh, yeah. They don't stand a chance.
Yeah, especially with my halberd.
It seems so impractical to me to stab the halberd through somebody like that.
Yeah, okay. This Dark Souls 1 has 3 different backstab animations. There's one for unarmed.
Yeah.
There's one for stabbing stuff, and there's one for blunt objects.
I do have to say, I haven't seen all of them, but the backstab animations I've seen in Dark Souls 2
are much better.
Far better than.
Well, actually, there's only 5, but they still make more sense.
Yeah, they're actually unique animations depending on the kind of weapon that you're using, rather than...
Yeah, it makes sense. When you have a okay, in this game, it doesn't matter if you have a spear, halberd, or sword. You just do the generic stab through the back. Yeah. But in Dark Souls 2, if you have a halberd or a spear, you actually stab through them, pick them up off the ground, and then slam them onto the ground, which is
also
more satisfying.
That pyromancy made short work of that knight who...
No, he did.
Who absolutely crushed me the first time I tried fighting him.
I don't think you're supposed to deal with him, in a melee focus way.
So Firekeeper Souls, which we just picked up,
Yeah, second one.
That's a mechanic used to buff up your Estus flask.
Yeah, because guess what? Your Estus flask doesn't heal very often. So you have to upgrade them. And I actually forgot to upgrade it last time.
Oh God, no!
I'll get it next time.
Aw. How did you miss that
I
jump?
think, if I remember correctly, I think it's because I tried to press the thumbstick instead of
Still
B.
used to Dark Souls 2.
Yes.
See, that's the kind of reason why I changed the jump controls in Dark Souls 2.
Well, back when I was playing Dark Souls 2, I didn't know I was going to do a Let's Play of Dark Souls 1. I wasn't expecting this. You just gagged and bound me, and now I'm sitting here naked.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wasn't expecting that. How was that?
I actually kidnapped him and was like, "You're going to spend an entire weekend just marathoning recording Dark Souls, and then we're gonna babble over it for the amusement of the internet." And I mean, since I kidnapped him, like, he didn't have any say in the matter, but yeah, I do eventually plan on releasing him back to the world at large.
And then I was like, "Can I at least have my trousers?" And you were like, "No, they're mine." And then you were there wearing them. I was like, "What the hell?"
I mean, they were just so comfortable. You know, what can I say? Oh.
And we have a Firekeeper. She has no tongue. It was cut off.
But she's how you buff up your Estus flasks.
Yeah.
And
she is a Firekeeper, and we're giving her Firekeeper souls. But don't worry, the souls that we have are from corpses.
We had two. I
remember I picked up one way earlier in New Londo.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You're supposed to get that a lot later on, but since I know about it, I can just get it.
She can actually end up dying as well. Spoiler alert.
Spoilers!
I know, I'm so bad. Is she going to end up... Oh, well, alright. That would be spoilers for this particular playthrough,
It's more interesting if she dies.
Is there a way to buff up your Estus Flask if she dies?
Yeah, because there's other Firekeepers around.
They all, Oh, yeah, they do, don't they?
Yeah, they all technically have the same function.
You can actually... You can specifically kill a Firekeeper to get their soul as well.
Yes, and then give their souls to another Firekeeper, and they'll upgrade for you. It's a dog-eat-dog world here.
Yeah, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah. And actually, okay, you can buff up your Estus Flask a total of 7 times, no matter what New Game Plus or whatever. It's only plus 7, and that's it. But the maximum you can get in your first playthrough is plus 6, because there's 7 souls in total in the game, but you still need to keep one around to upgrade it. So, there's technically you can get 7 souls, but you need a Firekeeper still alive to upgrade it. So.
Right. And there's an enemy up here that was
a channeler,
a massive bastard.
What is he doing in a church?
He's a holy man.
He's dancing. We sort of disrupted a rave party going on.
Some sort of it looks more like some sort of ritual to me. I don't know. It's kind of creepy either way.
Well, to be honest, dances are kind of like rituals.
Yeah, but he can give bonuses to enemies that are around.
You can buff up your enemies. I think it's increasing. I think just defenses.
And boy, there are a lot of them in this particular area.
This is okay. Either the buff is very good against enemies that have high health, so the defenses compensate for that, or high number of enemies, so the actual bonus is multiplied multiple times.
And he also has the soul arrow sorcery.
Yes, this guy is sorcery based. Although to do that buff thing, you have to have his weapon that's doing that, not him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if you have his weapon, the strong attack, I think that does the dance.
Interesting. It
buffs you, and I think it might also buff
friendly
whoever
phantoms.
you're co-oping with.
Yeah. But if you get blasted in the face by his soul arrow spell, which he can shoot at you while you're on the first floor of the church, by the way.
Yes.
It deals a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's why earlier when I was dealing with that big dude in armor, I lured him outside so there wouldn't be like a unfair tag team match going on.
Yeah, that caught me by surprise the first time I played this game.
First time I dealt with the channeler guy, I used arrows. I was like, fuck that, because like it's the first time seeing him, so I don't know if he's gonna be powerful or not. But apparently he's not really. Yeah,
fortunately they don't have very much health, and they don't have like high defense or anything.
Yeah, he's supposed to he's supposed to work with other enemies. That's why he has the buff ability.
Yep.
And we have Lautrec.
Oh.
There was a mystery key we picked up earlier. After the boss fight. So you can open this cell with that key or the master key. I don't think it matters. And he was like, let me out, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Shut up, dude. Don't spoil it.
He sounds so creepy though, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's almost like he's as sinister. He's as obviously sinister as like naming your character Sinestro.
And he's dressed in all gold too.
Yeah, he has very weird armor, but still pretty cool.
He
super speed.
So. Oh wait, no, that's spoilers too, actually. So, I guess I won't.
Is it to do with him?
Yeah, it is. It's something that a way that he returns later in the game, but I can't.
Yeah.
We
actually make it
there
this
we go.
time, and
finally.
I get this item, and we're gonna be using that key later, in a particular area.
Fantastic. I don't actually remember what that's for.
It's for when we go back to Undead Asylum. Now, for some cosmic reason that we can't explain, he ends up here.
He got back there before we did.
He must have used even more super speed than us.
No, he just happened to have a homeward bone that he
that's his twin brother.
Did you meet my brother? He's in jail right now. You better not have released him.
We have the same armor, you see. That's how you know.
Yeah, but we look completely different. You see, I'm black, he's white.
Aw, don't insult our humanity. We have two.
Yeah, I mean, I know I look like shit, but don't say it to my face. Don't say it to my shit face.
Yeah. You gotta be sensitive to the jerky skinned people.
Yeah, our reward for releasing him was a sunlight medal.
Which does?
It increases if you donate it to a certain covenant. You increase your rank. Normally, it's the Sunbro covenant. It's the one Solaire is associated with.
Right.
You get them from doing co-op with other players and defeating a boss, and then when the boss is killed, you get a sunlight medal. It doesn't matter if who summons who, as long as you beat the boss with at least one person who is in that covenant, then all of the players get a medal. And to be to get all the rewards in that covenant, you have to get 10 sunlight medals. But the normal way would be to to actually do co-op. But you get one from Lautrec there, and you can also, there's a particular enemy that you can farm them off of if you're doing offline.
Oh, really?
But that is also a spoiler, so I'm just gonna bring it up when we actually get to the enemy. Anyway, we're at the last part of the church.
I don't remember that enemy.
No, we can summon him. You see, he's our friend. We can trust him.
Yeah, he's totally not sinister in any way.
He's not evil. He's just Russian.
People do get very confused about that.
Yeah, and we have another player here, but he kind of looked
not nearly as impressive as Solaire there.
No. We have the joy of seeing his summon animation. So as with all Sunbro Covenant members.
we are clearly going into this. Jolly cooperation. So we're clearly going into this knowing what's ahead of us. But
Yes.
for people who don't know, this is another part of the game that first-time players will typically probably die at.
Yeah, and see something unexpected. And do you see the cursor? Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I noticed it and I moved it away.
It's okay, I did that in Batman.
It was actually there since like halfway through part 1 or something.
It wasn't that noticeable, thankfully.
Yeah. I'm at 4K resolution here, but I don't have a 4K monitor, but so it's quite small. So.
Fancy.
Hey, I have a normal 1080p monitor.
My monitors does not go up that high, so it's all fancy to me.
Mine does, and
Hey, welcome to a boss fight.
Yeah,
We can cut off their tails too, or well, his tail.
We can. This particular one, which I was actually doing, well, trying to do.
Let me get your.
Yeah.
The gargoyle here really does. Oh well, yeah. There's a second gargoyle.
Okay, now I want to bring up the more phantoms you have, either 1 or 2, phantoms being people you summon for co-op.
Yep.
It doesn't matter whether they're a player or an NPC. They will raise the health of the boss.
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Huh. I did not.
I don't think they affect the damage they do or the
Yeah.
amount of souls you receive from beating them, but it does increase their health.
I've only ever summoned a phantom for the Iron Golem, so I
Yes.
did not know about that either.
Iron Golem. Funny you should bring that up because we're gonna see his area after this fight. And bam!
Yeah, gargoyle
His tail.
axe tail.
And apparently his entire tail is a weapon.
Yeah,
You
well,
just swing the giant thing around.
they do use it like one.
Yeah, and Lautrec and Solaire do a tag team special on that one guy. Now this other gargoyle that shows up like halfway through the fight is also dead, but he also is weaker in every way. I don't think it does as much damage or as much armor.
Right.
And he starts off with half the amount of health as the other one.
Right, because so when you
But
get...
it's because, okay, it appears on a timer based. It doesn't matter how far you're into the fight based on health. He'll appear after a certain amount of time, and they expect you to be halfway done with the other gargoyle for that second one to appear.
Yeah. Which can get very inconvenient if you happen to not be.
Yes, and actually, with Demon Souls, there was also that other boss, another gargoyle, I think, or something like it, that has the second one just appear,
Yep.
unexpectedly. And we have Honor Londo there, the giant walls.
Oh yeah.
Our journey
So
there.
we're gonna ring a bell.
A bell. We
bell.
actually haven't brought up once about ringing bells and stuff in the entire time we've been talking.
Even though it's kind of the central thing that we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, that rings the bell. And
Now that we've rung this
nothing
bell, we're gonna have to go to Blighttown. And nobody likes Blighttown.
Oh, my favorite location in the game.
No, nobody likes Blighttown.